This TV and this thing. Oh, come on. Don't. No, you don't.
When we set this game up, we wanted it to be something that was going to be real-life pirates, how they actually operated in the golden age of piracy in the Caribbean. So we actually took actual historical pirates. We got Mary Read out, we got Calico Jack, we've got Sir Henry Morgan, and we've got Sir Francis Drake over there. Blackbeard is available in the game, so is Anne Bonny. A lot of actual classical people. We actually tried to find as best as we could what they looked like, what their actual flag would have been. A lot of bizarre over-detail to it that we love doing with stuff like this. And then we took it and we then also tried to make it a fun-to-play game. So this doesn't look anything like what the Caribbean actually looks like, to some extent. We went with a grid map so it has simple movement. So you'll build up your captain by building up their ship. You always start off with a sloop, which is a very tiny, actually surprisingly the most common pirate ship in the Caribbean was the sloop. The big idea of the giant galleons with 50 guns, most pirates didn't do that. Just the really super legendary ones like Blackbeard. So you build up your crew, you build up your cargo, get things like pistols. We also have various types of cannons and rifles. There's cutlasses and other sorts of money cargo out there like gold and rum and limes. And you build this up, and the goal of the game is to get as much gold as you can. As you're getting more and more gold, you're then trying to end the game when you have the most gold. And there are 4 ways the game can end. First way it ends is that if Port Royal's bank runs out of money. At that point, game over. The second way the game ends is that if you kill the Kraken, you can take the card here that is the head of the Kraken, and you have to get this card back to the docks. Alternately, you can sack La Fortaleza and get the loot of La Fortaleza and get it back to the docks. This is the toughest sea challenge in the game. This is the toughest land challenge in the game. The trick to that, though, is there's no way to get these cards back to the docks in one turn. Even the fastest boat is going to take 3 turns to get back to Port Royal. The slowest will take 4. And the entire time, every other pirate player can attack you and attempt to just straight up steal the credit out from under you. They can steal the head or steal La Fortaleza's loot and take it back and collect the reward on their own, because there's no honor among pirates. That's just not happening. So as you're collecting all this gold, you're trying to end the game. If you're not paying attention, somebody else could secretly be going around and winning the game, ending the game early, before you even get back with the secret treasure map. This shows up in the booty challenges, which is the normal way you get gold and just sort of build things up, and you can collect these pieces of the map. And if you have only one piece of the map, rolling 2 dice, you'd have to roll a 12 to actually find the treasure. If you don't find it, it's not a good map, you have to throw it out. The more pieces of the map you get, the easier it is to find. If you're able to get 4 pieces of the map, you only need a 4 or better to find it. But at that point, everybody at the table should be pretty suspicious of you, because you've got 4 secret cards that you keep looking at and like plotting out. So there's a lot of poker face planning going on there.
Excellent.
So those are the 4 ways the game ends. In the quick play rules, whoever has the most gold wins. In the advanced rules, whoever has the most gold and is alive wins. And that caveat is because in the advanced rules, you can bribe the British government to get letters of marque and become a privateer, because privateers end up living long, healthy lives. Like, you got Captain Morgan here, he was governor of Jamaica. Blackbeard was a pirate. He died. He got his head chopped off, and legend has it that his headless body swam around his boat one whole lap before he finally died. He was a pirate. He had more gold than Morgan did, but he's dead. So you have this reckoning at the end of the game to figure out who actually has the most gold and who still has their net.
Nice. So it seems like you know a lot about the history of the pirates and the seas and stuff. Did that just come from like researching for the game, or
that was mostly my motivation to make the game?
Okay.
At the time when we first started designing this game was 2008. The only pirate game that I even remotely kind of enjoyed playing at the time was that WizKids game, Spanish Main, and it was fun, but because it was like building the little ships, the ships had different strengths and abilities, but it really was just a naval warfare game. And it bothered me because I always thought about pirates like Sir Francis Drake is famous for having never really had a boat. Like he had, the British government did give him a part of the boat of the Navy when he became full privateer, but his claim to fame was raiding Spanish forts. And all these other pirates, they would have boats, but they would only get on them for like one day. They would live on an island, go out, sack a village, and then come back to their little pirate fortress, or to Tortuga or Port Royal.
Sure. So, Scallywags International. You've got the board game. You said you also do other things.
Oh, Scallywags International is a partnership between me and Obsidian Abnormal, the tiny little bald man from Colombia.
Okay.
And what we normally do is webcomics. We have Hello with Cheese, which I write, and then he writes his own comic called Commissioned. And then from there, because we're both very quick at our jobs, like we know what we're doing and we have a lot of extra time, then we made a board game, a children's book, and then we also make various playing card decks, like poker decks.
Okay.
Yes.
Like bicycle type stuff.
Yes. We did a bicycle grade deck called Postimo, which was a zombie playing card deck.
Awesome.
And we're currently making Sealy, which we hope to be a bicycle grade deck. If we get that stretch goal, we'll upgrade the paper to bicycle. Awesome. Bicycle paper is a special blend of 305 GSM paper, and they have a certain coating that they like to put on it too.
Great. So is there an expansion for the game? Is it kind of a standalone thing right now?
Yeah, actually, we just came out with the expansion this week called Treasure and Treason, because this is pirates and privateers. Two of the things that we got asked for a lot is like when the one of the favorite parts people had playing Scurvy Dogs was attacking other pirates, the other players, because you could steal their gold, and you can steal one secret card, and you could steal the head of the Kraken and the loot. But we never let them steal ships, cargo, or crew members, and that's because during the game design phase, one of our game designers straight up briefed me for an entire week of playtesting, where all he would do is follow me around the map, and just every time I got something, he'd attack and try to take it, attack and try to take it. And that's not a very fun game. So I literally, midway through the last time we did that, just stopped, changed the rules, said, no, we're not playing that rule anymore, it's done. But people wanted it, so we created some cargo items so that you can, to a limited effect, steal, like there's detriments to it. Like you have to take up a cargo slot to have the grappling hook to steal someone's ship, and then they get your ship in return. So you can only really, it's tempting. And it's also, if you have a good ship, it's kind of a good theft prevention device to have the grappling hook yourself, so that you can chase them back down and get your ship back if need be. The manacles are for stealing one crew member, and they get disposed of after use. And the barrel also, I believe, is disposed after use when you steal a piece of cargo. We also, in the expansion, added secret missions because we felt, as delightfully stabby and hate-filled as the game was, we needed an extra layer of paranoia. That we want people not to totally know what each person's end game is. And so we added 8 secret missions that they alter the game counts at the end. Like, maybe you've been burying treasure all game. You never know if maybe one of the other pirates has an ability that if he collects a certain number of cannons, he can straight up steal your buried treasure. Maybe another guy is collecting a bunch of letters of marque to get you all hung for piracy, not realizing that the other guy has collected a already existing bribe that allows him to just straight up steal your letters and all the credit.
Nice. So lots of backstabbing.
Lots of backstabbing.
Lots of enemies made between friends. Excellent.
It's a game to delightfully punch your friends in the face with.
Awesome. So how long does the game take to play? Is it a longer game?
We like it at 3 to 5 players, where it takes between an hour to an hour and 45 minutes. Okay. The sweet spot's about a 90-minute game. Okay. When it gets up to 6, 7, and 8 players, it can go to more the 2.5 to 3 hours, and a 2-player game can be done in about an hour. Okay.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for taking some time to show us Scurvy Dogs. Again, this is Scallywags International, the board game Scurvy Dogs, and we'll be back with more coverage from Origins. Thanks.
Thank you.